Kia ora from Aotearoa, Poppy here, and I just really wanted to check in. We've got a great deal of plasma coming in at the moment. There's a huge gaping hole in the sun. There's all sorts going on. There's a heck of a lot going on in the whole field with a lot of warring and all of that sort of thing done in that artificial world. They're still trying to use division and conquering as much as possible. It's kind of like death throes in some ways. And then we've also got many people now that are knowing that they've been scammed and that everything that we've been told through the education system, through religions, through the structures, through this civilization, through basically the different empires that have risen and fallen and have created so much of the mind control that is out there. So what's actually happening a lot for sensitive people is we're going to be feeling both things, and so we can feel that warring and all of that sort of thing going on in the background, and at the same time we can remember what matters most, and that is everything that is organic and everything that is natural. And if we can really just give our attention and time to that, we're also going to help that to come forward a lot more, and the division and the separation to finally cease. It will finally cease at some point. It all happens through the consciousness of people in this world, and the consciousness within the majority of people now is that there is definitely a great awakening. So with all this plasma that is there, plasma is kind of like it's something that can be charged into creation. So all our thoughts and our heart frequency, our love, it really matters. It matters a lot right now. So if we are holding the highest and the best thoughts for creation to move forward unhindered from the oppositions that have been in the matrix, which is definitely falling down. It's definitely coming down with a big loud roar and a bang, of course, as those that have thought that they could have their way have been trying to do everything that they could to do that, and only to discover that it's not going to happen. So in the meantime, we can hold a conscious awareness, which is for the highest and the best of Earth. Our thoughts and our heart power is actually materializing things a lot quicker now. And as we realize that we are all connected, that we are connected to everyone and everything, then we can hold everything more in observation. So if you're a survivor of MK Ultra, you're going to probably feel this the hardest, but everybody is actually a survivor of MK Ultra to one extent or another. What they have been doing in the last 5 years has been a huge, big psychological operation on so many people, and it's not prevailing. It's not winning. It still depends very much on choice, which way we choose to go. We can reclaim back our fullness of our DNA, our abilities, those things that are going to come back to us even more strongly and powerfully. Many of you will probably not be noticing that your gifts of materialization are strong, and that it's really important that we are aware of what the emotions are that are coming up and passing through us at this time. So we might have all kinds of emotions which we don't really like to feel, and as we breathe into that, like just keep breathing that pure light, that love into everything, every feeling, whether it's anxiety, whether it's panic, whether it's despair. These can be linked up to old programs which are breaking down from inside of us as we basically are also allowing ourselves to reprogram ourselves back into what supports nature and everything that is organic and natural, and we're bringing our attention away from the artificial world, which has been it's kind of like, the way that I see it is the earth has been overlaid with something which has been like a massive, great big computer system. The pyramids and all of that some of them look like motherboards, the way that they have been outlaid. And I've just been looking into, a lot started when empires were created. So what happened is that's what they call civilization. But basically it was people being rounded up into areas where they would be controlled. And they were also controlled very much with psychological operations, which came in the form of belief systems, often punitive belief systems, where people would be punished if they didn't comply with the rulers of those regimes. And we've had many, many empires coming and going, and that's been part of the problem. So a lot of the pyramids and all of these things that came into our world thousands of years ago, or whatever it was, this is really ancient, this construct which has been formed through our thoughts. And if the more that they kept us in division, the more they traumatized us, the more they wanted to convince us that we were nothing, that we were always guilty of something, that there was always shame about something. These are actually not of the true creator source. We're here to have experiences. We're here to master our souls. We've been here to learn. But the big regimes and empires and civilization did slot us into captivity, where we were always constantly ruled over. Anything that is outside of ourselves is like if it's got us, then we're entangled with it. It's like a quantum entanglement. And so the way to be about it is I've found for myself, I need to know that big picture. I need to know the bigger perspective, not take anything personally, and not have any emotional charge left over it. Yes, emotions are going to come, they're going to wash over us, they're going to come and go, and we're actually releasing these through our being at the same time. So if we just breathe, if say panic comes up in our world, especially while so much is going on and we're feeling so much, we just breathe into that panic. We observe it, we look at it, we just keep breathing it and breathing through it and breathing through it, and eventually it dissipates and we'll come back into that surety of being held in creation, held by Creator, held by ourselves, held by the love that we really, really are. It's quite a lot of work. It's easy to go down. I know that a lot of survivors are having horrible programs coming up. Don't act on these programs. Evaluate and observe every single thing that comes up. If it's for death and destruction, it's part of the artificial construct. It's part of the psychological programming, the MK Ultra basically, which has been over the whole of the population, wanting us all to think the same things, be afraid of the same things, and generate more fear and more things that would perpetuate that fearful existence. Yeah, so we can rise above it, and that's what we're doing. And Mother Earth is, I feel her, I know she is freeing herself of what has overlaid her. It's happening through our consciousness. We share our consciousness with her. So let's be honouring and allowing of all emotions. The ones that are hard, sometimes we can deflect them, we can put them on hold, but they will come back. So it's best to just deal with them as and when they come before they get too big. Allow ourselves to just let them come through us, go through us, and then they will transmute back as we hold it in love. So as despair comes up, we love the despair. We infuse love into that despair. We just keep breathing, staying in the heart, and keep going, and we'll find that these things will dissipate. That's one way that I'm dealing with it at this time, because it's kind of like it's like we can go either way at the moment. We don't want to be sucked into that machine world completely and totally. We've all been living in it. We've all been subjected to it for a very long time, and it's actually a time that we're going to be breaking free of it. And each one of us is carrying our piece, and each one of us is absolutely valuable and vital. Now, all the pictures that I'm going to have that are with this, they're all nature scenes of things that I took, and then I just applied mirror art, and it's just amazing what you see in that. It's fun. It's kind of I think it can just bring us back into love. It's kind of just, it was just fun for me to take the photos and do the mirror art and see what's in there, because nothing is actually as it seems when we are looking at everything on this reality through our 3D eyes. Remember that we're only getting a tiny fraction of the light that is really there, but when we can actually go into the other realms in our meditation spaces, then the light is very different that way. And the things that have been implanted or instilled or imposed and overlaid upon our beautiful planet happen in other realms. And so it's those other realms that we can, when we know, like I've been practicing it for a while. I can't explain it. If you know, you know. But the main thing is to hold everything in love, and to allow and breathe love into every emotion. Breathe love as we think of Palestine. Breathe love as we think of Venezuela. Breathe love as we think of ICE victims. Breathe love into everything and infuse it through everything. It's actually more powerful than we know, and a little bit that the artificial world has not been so happy with, because it still wanted to hold us in this artificial construct, which is breaking down, and it's been a lot of a construct of our minds, generated by our minds, but a very physical experience as well. So yeah, I hope that all makes sense to you, and yeah, keep up the great work. Keep envisaging the highest and the best for creation, where, I mean, one of the things that I'm really, really visioning now, and I've even had a beautiful dream, is survivors who've been used and experimented on. It's coming together and being that power and that force that we always were, what they did try to crush out of us, but our love prevailed, and we're still here, we're still breathing. Yes, it still may be really difficult at times, but we have been exposing how this matrix and how this system has been put in through what happened to us in our lives, and people are actually starting to realize it now. More and more and more people are actually seeing that we need to come into love and unity, and it's the only thing that transcends the artificial world. That's what's missing in the artificial world, because that power, that love, is the creative force. And when we claim it back for ourselves, then we create, without the impositions, the trauma, the suffering of any programs that can get in between. But they are trying to get in, they're trying to grab at a lot of people. So yep, just be aware that it's okay to have the emotions that will come up and arise up. If you're sensitive and you feel everything, yes, we can definitely infuse all with love in our meditations, as we have our bare feet upon the ground, as we interact with nature, yeah, just know that we're actually doing a lot more with our thoughts and with our beautiful, powerful heart energy than we can possibly know. So much love to you.